For those of you that are still having trouble on writing your outline, I'm going to create this video so it can hopefully guide you. Some of you chose different topics, so this is just going to be a very general overview of the outline. You can find your outline on page 3. And please use this definitely as a guide, as a way that you need to. So what you're going to do is you're going to give me an introductory paragraph. You have your creative opening, so give me a fact, a bit of information, a universal idea, an analogy, or a metaphor. You know, you can even write a simile. You can write maybe a thought. So if you think that Abigail is a psychopath, then you write Abigail is a psychopath. So you just remove this and you write Abigail is a psychopath. Or you can also get a quote from brainyquote.com. Just make sure that it is a good quote that is going to fit your essay. Next, you have to add the author, title, or background. Please do not give me a biography. I'm not interested in a biography. I already know about Arthur Miller, so please don't tell me about that. What you want to do is maybe give me a little bit of background information on the topic that you're writing about. So if you're writing about the topic on psychology, then tell me, how has psychology advanced, or is it still behind? Or if you have another topic, for example, like about following a character, so you could tell me, oh well, characters are typically static characters, flat characters, round characters, etc. So you can talk to me about that. Just make sure it's a little bit of background for your particular topic. Again, this is only a very general overview. Next, your thesis. So your thesis, you do have to have a because factor. So tell me about the topic that you're discussing. If you're telling me that Abigail is a psychopath, then that's fine. But I want to know why. Why do you think she is a psychopath? So what is it that she does? So your thesis statement would actually describe that. So for instance, you tell me Abigail likes to dominate her family and friends. Therefore, she is manipulating. That's something very simple. So you could do that. That's, of course, if you're going to discuss that. You can also tell me that Abigail is a manipulating liar. You could also say that as well. So it's up to you what it is that you're going to write for your thesis, but just make sure this is the main idea of your paper. So if I ask you, what did you write about? Your thesis would actually tell me what it is you wrote about. So, of course, this one is just an example, but you could add more. In body paragraph 1, you're going to focus on your first idea. So if the first idea, you talk to me about how she's manipulative, then here in your topic sentence, you are simply going to write Abigail is a manipulative liar. And why is she a manipulative liar? So because, and tell me what it is that she does. Concrete details, this is your observation. Pretty much tell me about what character words, what does she say that makes her manipulative? What are her thoughts? What does she think? Or what actions does she do? So for instance, you may be able to tell me that she controls the girls, she threatens the girls. So you want to tell me that. And then you give me your primary quote where you go into your book and you actually tell me, you know, where she writes, I will bring a pointy reckoning, etc. And this is just a sample. Reckoning, okay? You do not put a period, you close it, and then of course you have to give me the page number. So you will put P, no period, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe it's on page 423, for example, and you press, you know, the period there. So here, if it's from Arthur Miller, you put Miller, which is your author, and then 423. So like that, I know that you did get it from Miller and your author, okay? And then your page number. The commentary, explain. How does this relate to the thesis? What can you tell me about it? So talk to me about how she's a manipulative liar. What do you make of that? So is the reason that she was manipulative, did that ruin the play? Did that make the play better? Was she successful? You know, any commentary that you would like to tell me. This secondary quote is very important because this is a quote where you are going to get articles from EBSCO, and you can watch another video of how to access those. I've already taught you in class, but for those of you who missed it. The secondary quote, same thing. You're going to support. So somebody else has to tell you about psychology. So for instance here, if you tell me that she is a psychopath, well then get your evidence from psychcentral.com. Tell me how she's a psychopath. So for instance, you could go to Psych Central, go to Psych Central, and that's going to be only one of the websites. I do not want Wikipedia or anything else. I've already told you that. So here, for example, you want to tell me, you want to type in psychopath, and you may get some symptoms, you know, of a psychopath. How do they act? What do they do? How do they treat others? So this is where you're going to get quotes from if you want. See here, it's even a quiz, so you can test yourself. Are you a psychopath? I hope none of you are. So now here it says how to spot a psychopath, and it'll take you here. You know, this is a blog. This is written by Gretchen Rubin. So here it tells you that the test seeks to measure. So this is a quiz that you can take. Either way, you find out, you know, how are you a psychopath? You can click here on differences between a psychopath versus sociopath, and it'll take you here. And you can see how there's antisocial personality disorders, and for the most part people have to have 3 or more. So if Abigail or any other character that you're analyzing does not have these traits, then of course they're not going to have this personality disorder. So do they constantly lie and deceive others? That's one. Is impulsive, doesn't plan ahead. Does she just do things out of the ordinary? Does she or doesn't she plan? Does she have little regard for the safety of others, or does she care about who is safe and how she feels? Does she even feel guilty for what she does? So here you may have already diagnosed her as probably a psychopath. Now you need to make sure, because sometimes you also have a sociopath who are a little bit more dangerous. So you need to kind of figure. Okay guys, so either way, this is a place that you can check. You can also check EBSCO. You already know how to get those resources. And if you don't, well, you're going to have to look at the other video to kind of find out. You do have to read, unfortunately, right? Because we don't like to read everything, but we have to. So if you got a quote from that article that I just showed you, you will put it here because it has to support the detail. You can't just tell me out of the blue, oh, she's a psychopath. Well, how do you know? What evidence supports it? Do you have an expert telling you that? And if you so do, because she just does meet the qualifications for a psychopath, a sociopath, whatever other disorder he or she may have, then you do have to support it here. So pretty much the secondary quote is from the expert. What do the experts have to say? And explanation and detail of the quote. Well, tell me, what do you think about that? Why do you think that she is a psychopath? Give me more information. So you could use, you know, when Abigail did this, this means she's a psychopath because, and just be very detailed about that. And what do you think about what the experts say? And don't write, oh, I think that he or she is right. That's not something good that you want to write. So tell me about the psychopath. How is Abigail a psychopath? So you need to write that down. You need to explain it. You need to tell me the expert says she's a psychopath, therefore she is because she exhibits these characteristics, these character traits, and then write the character traits. Now here, primary quote, again, you write your primary quote, whatever more you want to write. You can either choose to delete all of this and leave it there. If you notice, your paragraph 1 is going to be very short. So I don't think you're going to end up writing 4 pages like that. So just be very clear. Now, primary quote, get another primary quote. What else can you tell me about Abigail? Then the commentary, and I already explained that. You do the same thing in body paragraph 2, but now it's going to be the second idea that supports the thesis. So if you told me in the first paragraph she is a manipulative liar, then your second idea, what else are you going to tell me about her? Do you have anything else to discuss? So describe to me how she is. Does she change as a character? Does she not change as a character? Do you want to tell me that she's stubborn? Do you want to tell me any other character traits? So make sure you look at the characteristic traits that are online too, because you can describe her there as well. And then body paragraph 3. If you're going to have a body paragraph 3, then you give me the third idea. So do you have any other idea that you want to tell me about Abigail? And you do the same thing. Paragraph 4, same thing. Now, if you're not going to have a paragraph 4, you just delete it. If you're not going to have a body paragraph 3, you just delete it. If you're simply going to write about paragraph 1, So you tell me she's a manipulative liar. In this one, you want to tell me that she's stubborn. Then you can just write 2 paragraphs, but make sure it's enough to write a 4-paragraph research paper. Eventually, your concluding paragraph, don't make it boring. You want to end with a bang. So here, you need to answer the question, so what? Like, now I have all this information. What do you want me to do about it? And yeah, it sounds kind of rude, but guess what? No. So what? Tell me, how is this paper important? And do not write down, this paper is important because I said so. Okay, that's not a good thing. So show me how this is meaningful, how this is useful. How does this apply to perhaps our lives? You know, how can we figure out now how to find a sociopath, a psychopath? Don't tell me this is important because I said so. Again, I tell you, do not do that. Echo back to your thesis and tie your ideas together. So for example, you want to say maybe Miller portrays, I don't know, it sounds fancy, so let's use that. So you want to say maybe Miller portrays, and it's in bold, it shouldn't be, I'll fix that. Miller portrays a manipulative character so the audience can do what? What do you want the audience to do about that? You, the reader, you know, are you an audience? You're a reader, you can say that. So why do I want to? And I can't tell you that, guys, because that's you thinking. So this is your thinking time. I need to know what you think about it. So significance of the piece of literature, like how significant is this in our lives? How can we use this? Connect back to the creative opening. So if you said Abigail's a sociopath or a psychopath, okay, now what? You need to end it. You can't just leave me hanging. Now, the Mla requirements are right here. The following Mla requirements must be followed. You'll receive a 5-point deduction. If not, you need to include your works cited page in the 5th page. Proper Mla heading. And of course, there's going to be a video for that too. Original title. Please don't make it boring. Be original. Do not copy. Do not plagiarize, because that's not going to be acceptable. You're going to have to retake English 3, and I don't think you want to do that. 1-inch margins. Everything is set up. Double space 4 pages, Times New Roman, 12-inch font. Do not use contractions such as don't, won't, etc., because that's not something it's not good practice. Let me just put it to you that way. Use complete sentences. Use transitions. Transitions as however, on the other hand, furthermore, etc. So you have those. You have Purdue Online, where you can go just in case you need help. So you can go to Purdue. All you have to do, very simple. If you need more Mla help, you just type in Purdue Online, and it'll take you there. What happens there, Ms. Ramon? I don't know. You have Mla formatting and style. So you click on that page, and it depends, what do you need help on? Do you need help in citing, like your works cited page? How do I do that? I don't know how to do that. This is what a works cited page will look like. So if I copy paste this, of course it's not going to be yours. You're going to have your own. Okay, you can copy paste it. You can copy paste it to your 5th page. I do want it to be, like I said, your 5th page. So you're going to paste it, and a works cited page pretty much looks like this. And there's going to be more information on an upcoming video, so make sure you do that. And this is 12 Times New Roman, and as you can see, there's that one, it looks 2 together. This is double spaced. Okay, so pretty much you see how it's in alphabetical order, and that's what a works cited page looks like. What is all this information? Well, this is where you got your secondary quotes from, that you got your info and you pasted it here. So like that, Ms. Ramon knows where to go back and find your articles that you claim that you found. Okay, so that's really, really important. Now, here, don't give me floating quotes. I don't want just random quotes thrown. So I don't want to say, Abigail, wipe it out of mind, and then you just have it there all random on the page. No, you need to introduce your quote. So make sure that you introduce your quote. So here, for example, Proctor yells, Abigail, wipe it out of mind. Okay, but what about it? What does this do? So you put your semicolon and you put, therefore, Abigail insults his wife. something like that. So that's pretty much the type of quotes that I want to see.